So what do you do when you're lost focus? When you are stuck in a rut? When you no longer are following or on the path of self-improvement? When you seem to lack the energy, motivation, and the discipline to do the right actions every single day. What do you do then? That's what we're going to be talking about in this video, right? First, let's define what a nut is. RUT. What the fuck is that? What is a rut? Let's ask Google. A habit or pattern of behavior that has become dull and unproductive but is hard to change. So, a habit or pattern that has become dull and unproductive but is hard to change. For example, tend to be you tend to fall into ruts where again you tend to become insanely lazy, unproductive, unfocused, and unmotivated. You also tend to fall back into the vices or old native habits that you used to have before. Some go back to smoking weed, drinking alcohol, things like that. They'll do all the retarded shit that they were doing before. They go back into that trap once again. Now they stop going to the gym. They start eating junk food, more junk food. All that stuff creeps back in. All that hard work, right, that you did, all that progress is being destroyed, right, in that phase of being in love. The question is, how do you get out of it, right? Because you are actively destroying your progress in that phase of love, because you're going to be losing your gains, going to become out of shape, most likely because you stopped going to the gym. Your health is getting negatively affected because of the drinking and the alcohol and the weed and the cigarettes and all that stuff. The question is, how do we prevent this? How do we get out of this phase, this rut, this trance, or whatever you want to call it? Now, how do we get out of it? Is the get out of it by realizing that, hey, I'm stuck. I'm doing shit that I'm not supposed to do. And, you know, this is not going to get me anywhere else, right? Quentin Tarantino, if you don't know him already, he's a director, like Hollywood director, has directed some, you know, super films like Django Unchained, um, Glorious Bastard, uh, or Pulp Fiction, of course, man. Pulp Fiction, how did I miss that? Pulp Fiction, all those amazing films. He's the director behind them. Now, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, that's something that came out recently. So, getting back to my point, how do you ensure that he had an interesting exercise, right? Coming back to the point once again, he had an interesting exercise. What he did was he stayed up all night and he started writing down why exactly his life is fucked up. What are the things that he did wrong? And how do you fix them? That's what he did. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but let me watch the reel again.
I wasted my life hanging out with a bunch of guys just like you. And they all go away at a certain point. I'm turning 25 or what have I done with my life? And there was like one night, all night long. And rather than give myself excuses, I would spend like all night laying out everything I'm doing that's wrong. And then I would spend the last 2 hours figuring out how I could change.
Okay, he wrote down everything that he did wrong, that he's doing wrong, and then he would spend the last 2 hours figuring out how he can change it. That's what he did. And I would highly suggest you do that exercise as well. You don't need to do it, over the night. You don't have to stay up all night doing it, but because dedicate a few hours to this process, to this exercise, and then just write down what the fuck you're doing wrong in your life. Pablo. What are you doing incorrectly in your life? Why you are the fuck up that you are right now? And then how are you going to fix it? Do that exercise, and then yeah, start implementing those actions, right? That list of how you can fix it, how you can change that, execute on that. That's what I would recommend. Now, of course, you can't change your entire life in a single day. Rome wasn't built in a single day. You have to start small, as always. Let's take the gym for an example, right? Let's say you've stopped going to the gym, for a few months now. You lost your gains. What do? Let's say you were benching back then 100 kgs. Just an example. You can't go back to the gym expecting to bench 100 kgs again. But you've been out of the gym for a few months now. You're out of shape. You don't have the strength in you anymore. You're going to probably struggle with that very, right? And you don't want the possibility of risking an injury. You're going to injure yourself. The chances of injuring yourself, chances of you having injury is high, right? Because it's been a very long time. It's been a few months since you worked out properly. Your strength could have declined significantly. So why risk it? You start and mentally as well. If you tell your brain like, hey, if you're going there, it's been a while, I know that, but you're going there if you're going to bench 100 Ks. Like, your brain will be like, fuck, that's hard. You, it's going to feel a little demotivated. It's like, it's too big of a hurdle to jump in one go. Okay, how do you work around this? Start small, like I mentioned. Go there, just bench the bar. Right? Just do the bench press with the fucking barbell. Just the bar. No weight, no extra weight, nothing. Just the bar. Just do 5x for 3 6. Right? Just do that. And then take your 5 kg dumbbell and then do 10 reps or 2 pieces. Start with something like that. Jog for 5 minutes. Fuck, you will start with just 10 push ups or 5 push ups even for the first day. And then you slowly start increasing it. Day by day, you start increasing. Okay, I did 2 sets today. I'm going to do 3 sets of the same weight tomorrow. Then I'm going to slightly increase the weight the next day. Then, as days pass by, you have increased your weights, you've increased the number of sets. When you're back to what you were doing before, and then you can push past that PR that you had before as well. If you were benching 100 kilos back then, now once you have ramped up, you can try and bench 150 kgs. 150 kgs, you can try them. Of course, go get to 150 kgs gradually, right? You got to increase your strength as well. You got to ensure your diet is optimal, sleep is optimal, things like that. But yeah, if you do all that, I guarantee your life, you start getting out of that rut, right? Same thing in the gym applies to your business. Now, the problem when it comes to your job and business and things like that is most likely the muscle, the focus muscle, that muscle is fucked. Right? The problem is you are unable to focus and you have a lot of distractions that are preventing you from focusing. Right? Because you need to be able to at least focus for an hour or two, at least, bare minimum, on one single task. Or else you're not going to progress. Right? May that be on prospecting or creating content or filming ads or learning something new, anything. Right? So we need to build back that focus muscle, as I like to call it, the focus muscle. Right? And how do you do that? Is you do that by, again, starting small. Just take a kitchen timer like this, right? A kitchen timer like this, and then set, set it to, this is not a kitchen timer per se. This is a timer, man. Whatever. This is a timer. You have the option to, set up a timer in this and then set it to 15 minutes or even 10 minutes. I just don't do anything else but that task for those 10 to 15 minutes. 1 5, by the way, 15. Don't do anything else. Don't go on YouTube. Don't go on Instagram. Don't do scroll. Don't, go to the kitchen and try to make a sandwich or anything like that. Don't do anything else. Just focus on that one particular task. Yeah. And then, okay, once you've been able to successfully focus and work on that task for 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, then you can increase the timer. Okay, I'm going to give myself a 30-minute break and then I'm going to come back, or another 15-minute break. Don't go for 30 minutes. 30-minute break after a 15-minute work session is too much, in my opinion. You could do that if you want, right? Depending on how down bad you are. How it's okay. So you're going to start. You're going to work for 15 minutes. Take a break. Come back, and then you're going to increase that timer slightly. Try to work 20 minutes. If not, fuck it. Just work another 15 minutes, and then boom. Repeat that twice. That's all. So at the end of the day, you have 3 work sessions or 4 work sessions where you work 15 minutes. You focus for 15 minutes each. 15-minute work session, focus session, and then 30-minute break. 15-minute focus session, 30-minute break. 15-minute focus session, another 30-minute break. And then at last, another 15-minute work session, and you're done. 4 15-minute work sessions, and in between each of them, you got a 30-minute break. Or 15-minute break even. Go, you work, you focused, you fucking focus properly for 1 hour at the end of the day. As day by day, what you do is you increase the time of focus and then you decrease the break periods. Right? No, you just increase your time of focus. Right? Don't adjust the break period, right? Because 30 minutes is good, right? So instead of 15 minutes, you want to be able to do 30 minutes. And then after that, eventually 45. And then scale over 90. Right? 90-minute work session, 30-minute break. 1 hour work session, or 1 hour work session, 30-minute break. 1 hour again you work after that, and then boom, you take another 30-minute break, and then you come back, you work another hour, and then repeat how many ever times you want, how many ever times you are able to in that particular day. If you do this successful properly, you can easily have a focused work session for 2 to 3 hours easily. At least 2 hours you'll be able to focus, right? If you have 3 work sessions, focus sessions, then boom, you've progressed. You've just had 3 proper focus sessions. See, a 3-hour long, you are focusing. Let me phrase this properly. You are able to do focused work for 3 hours in that day. That's a significant improvement compared to just wasting your day, right? Compared to just being unfocused and lazy the entire fucking day. That's how you start getting out of the rut. You start small and then you build. With that being said, I hope this was useful. I'll see you in the next one.